Hello, welcome to a video about income for life. Why do I do these videos? Because uncertainty creates anxiety. Understanding helps create confidence. The future will always be uncertain. Your financial decisions don't have to be. For over 30 years, I've seen the same questions come up over and over. Will my money last? What if the market crashes? Am I making the right decisions? How do I stay calm when everyone else is panicking? And many more, all to do with uncertainty. My videos are to help answer these questions for you. Why do some investors get it wrong? It's not because they're unintelligent, it's because they're human. When everyone is excited, it's hard not to get excited too. When everyone is panicking, it's hard not to panic. We've all done it. Today's question is, will I always have enough income? And the answer is yes, if you build a portfolio designed to produce reliable income. Let's say you need this much income to live on, and you have dividends and interest of this much. You have enough, no matter what. Even if the market crashes, that money just keeps rolling in. Here's one couple story, a couple I know very well. Were retired when the global financial crisis struck. A lot of their money was in shares, and their portfolio dropped by more than half. But they travelled overseas twice as much as usual. Mum always kept very good records. How did they do this? Number one, travel was half price. Few people had money to travel during the global financial crisis. Number two, they owned shares that paid very good dividends, and the dividends from their shares didn't drop much. Their experience taught me a life lesson, one I'll now pass on to you in the following slides. They never had to wonder where next year's income was coming from, ever. They needed this much, and they had interest and dividends giving that much. That's what they'd built. They didn't do it straight away, they'd built it over time. And you want this, not this. Income all over the place. How can you live on that? You want this, something that's reliable and keeps coming in. How do you achieve that? Reliable income. Build a portfolio that produces reliable income. Buy wisely and diversification. Firstly, use investments that produce income, like bank accounts, term deposits, bonds, alternatives. They all pay interest. And shares, property securities, exchange traded funds, they'll pay dividends. And tax credits, which you get as a refund when you're in retirement and you're not paying any tax. Some investments don't pay income. For example, you've probably seen this where there's an investment, it's well diversified, it's got Australian shares, international shares, alternatives, fixed income, cash. So this fund gets interest and dividends. Many super funds work this way, but they're unitized. All income is converted to units, and you sell units to live on, even when markets are down. And the big problem is the unit price has dropped. Do you want to sell when they're down? No. Buy wisely. Let's have a look at that. Sometimes investment markets are good value. When they are, you can buy more income. So let's have a look at this. Here's an investment. It's got this much income. The price drops, so you can buy more of them and get more income. They're good value, and that's wise. The best time to buy is when the price is down. So let's have a look at an example. The best time to buy dividends. when prices are low. Now, if you'd invested $100,000 into Commonwealth Bank before COVID, you would have bought 1,100 shares. In COVID, with lower prices, you could have bought 1,600. And the dividends paid now on those shares from the ones before COVID would be 5,500. The ones you bought in COVID for 7,700. Now, what we did with CBA, we can also do with bonds and exchange traded funds. Let's look at buying bonds wisely. Similar to shares, there are times when bonds are oversold, meaning everyone is selling them, usually some sort of panic. This can be an opportunity to get more income for your dollar, reliable income. Now let's just look at one particular bond. Let's say the fixed rate of interest is 5.25% and the face value is $20. That's the face value and that's the interest rate. Now let's say you can buy that bond for $15. You still get paid the same amount of interest on it, and even though you bought it for $15, you're going to get $20 back when it ends. This means the interest you get is 7%. Make sense? Exchange traded funds. I won't go into these now, but you probably get the idea. Let's look at diversification. Have multiple sources of income from different types of assets, bonds, shares, property, money in the bank. Also have many investments that all pay income. If one underperforms, you have others to rely on. Let's look at an example. Here's an income from an investment, and another, and another, and a combination of those. You can see the income coming in is more reliable. Most of them are in the $10 to $15 bracket. Only one is less. Now the ideal is this, just nice beautiful line going up each year. Fantastic. But it's unlikely. But we can still aim for it. Let's have a look at some risks and downsides. One risk, income can vary from year to year. Interest rates can fall, dividends can go down, like in COVID. They went down in COVID. So you must always be prepared for this and have reserves and use the bucket strategy for times like this. And you can always spend a little less if all else fails. More risks and downsides? Well, there's extra complexity, which is the price you pay for greater security. This is the target. You need this much, you have reliable income of this much. So let's have a look at some results from the past, from portfolios that we've built. Here's one client's reliable income, $112,000 a year. Could live on that. And another client's reliable income, $59,000 a year. And there's one more factor I haven't mentioned yet, the age pension, which is another form of reliable income. Combined with the reliable income from investments, it really makes a difference. Here's one simplified example. So you have the age pension. I've got a couple. The age pension age, obviously, they've got $300,000 in super each, and they get $15,000 a year of reliable income. And also the age pension of $39,000. And so it looks like this. Age pension, client 1, client 2, total income. Okay, $69,000 a year. Today's question was, will you always have enough income? The answer is, you don't need perfect markets. You don't need to predict the future. You need reliable income to support your lifestyle. The answer is, build a reliable income and keep your budget lower. How much do you need to live on? Well, here's an example from, this is a compilation put together by the Association of Australian Super Funds, and it shows the annual living costs for a couple, modest lifestyle if they're renting, and then a comfortable lifestyle. And I find most couples live between this range. Some spend a bit more and still go overseas once a year. For a single person, this is what they show. I find most single clients that I've got are living on more than this. Retirement becomes much less frightening when your income is more predictable than the share market. Income gives you choices. Spending less than your reliable income gives you confidence. Successful investing isn't about predicting the future. It's about making sensible decisions when nobody knows what will happen next. I don't ask you to believe this because I say so. I encourage you to test it for yourself, then decide whether it makes sense for you. Would you like to know more? Check out my website or give me a call or see my other videos on my YouTube channel. And here's a general advice warning. This one's the simple galvanized version. This presentation is for educational purposes only. The information is reasonably accurate, but some poetic license has been taken to a small degree for explanation purposes, simply to make it easier to understand. Most importantly, get advice from an expert before doing anything. And the next one is the official version. If you want to read it, pause it here. Otherwise, I'm going to go on. And remember, you can be more confident that you will have enough money. Thank you. Have a good day.